Sri Anwar, my good friend Raja Petra, Senator Tunku Aziz, and my congratulations to the organizing committee, the Friends of Pakatan, for a very successful event. In fact, it surprised me in Saturday afternoon. People rather indulge in some political discussion rather than trying to get a bit of sunshine, which is a bit more rare in UK than any other occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to maybe just spare a few moments to discuss a little bit of what's happened, and then we open for more discussion later. What we are facing today in Malaysia, with all the details, the Pakatan and so on and so forth. But what we come back to, the issues we are facing, the Barisan Nasional regime nowadays, to explain why so many oddities, why ever you hear about Malaysia, especially far away if you don't surf internet, it is only absurdities, only issues that become a joke of the international communities. This is a regime that is now losing its legitimacy. We have to look back. Previously, we may not enjoy a lot of freedom, civil liberties, and we still have a one-party state, and so on and so forth. But for a long periods of time, the government can claim that they have economic growth, using economy as a exchange for human rights, for civil liberty, so they can continue to be repressive. Then it turned around, racialism, to mobilize along racial unity as one of the tools to continue to stay in power. Now even that is slowly giving away with the existence of Pakatan, with stronger unity that forged among us. That's why the regime now increasingly rely on religious sentiments, playing out communities to stay in power. This is a very dangerous trend, and this is more risky than we are talking about political maneuver. This is not about Pakatan trying to take over the states or we want to sustain the opposition's relevance in parliament. This is about a country future where a groups of elites who has been in power for too long, they were worried about losing power. And they will do anything, and especially something that they are quite familiar with, which is ethnicities and religion as their final lines of defense. That's why the existence of Pakatan, it is not something that as a lot of people are trying to describe, a marriage of convenience. Actually, it's not really convenience for us to be together, but it is a long process that we have gone through. Is it true that opposition never cooperate? Which is not true. I mean, I remember when I first started, we have the Pakatan, we have the Barisan Alternative. It gone through a lot of discussion, and we managed to keep the three together. Anwar was in prison. We cleared a lot of differences. We managed to come up with a credible opposition. But maybe it was not the time yet, because the public was not ready. There was a lot of suspicions, especially from the non-Muslim, non-Malay communities. When Barisan Alternative was launched, we did not gain electorally. So you have politicians who say, well, maybe this is not the way to go. But that did not deter us to continue to stay together. And I would say that it is, although by default, now we are in power, in many states, and we have to work together, but it is also important that the existence of Pakatan as a new forum. For many years, for almost half a century, many of the issues are impossible to be discussed. Right? Whenever you raise something, there will be taboo for someone, and the big stick will come, whether ISA, OSA, or all the different acts will be used to stop us. But the value of Pakatan is not just about sharing seats in parliament or trying to maintain a majority in the state so that we can rule. But the value of Pakatan is that many of the issues that we have no opportunity to address as Malaysian get to discuss on the table. I'm not saying we are perfect. I mean, I'm not saying that we can solve all differences within this discussion. But at least, issues of religion, very controversial. The issues of Allah. You know, of course, to many people in democratic society, it was non-issues. But because of the regime is very worried about losing power, they become a major issues. But what do we do? At least with the existence of Pakatan, this can be brought up. DAP can sit together with Keadilan and PAS to discuss this. We discuss this not as politicians. You know, not as how much PAS was going to gain from this, how much DAP will gain from this. But we discuss this as Malaysian, we have to resolve this problem. That's why you see PAS take a very brave move. Despite the survey say, maybe 60%, 70% of the Muslim population were misguided and they don't understand the issues and they might be agreeable with the UMNO stand. But PAS took a position, not because they want to please DAP, because they think this is the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do to maintain unity of Pakatan Rakyat. It's the right thing to do that Malaysian people have to speak out in a rational voice. I think this journey is not easy. I'm sure it takes us a lot longer periods of discussion to resolve many controversial issues of Malaysia, including NEP, the new economic policy, including the issues about positive discrimination. These are controversial issues. But Pakatan, we did not dare to promise we resolve everything. But we promised the people that this is the forum for us to sit together to resolve it. And that's why, for the coming election, it is very important for us to have a united voice against the racialists, the ethnocentric, and the religious, what's it called, the manipulations approach of Barisan Nasional.